Hello, everybody, and welcome to Late Night Football. We're back. I'm back. Because we got one more game there. We got it's finished. Manchester City 2, Liverpool 3. I mean, that was incredible. That was an incredible game and it was frantic. It shouldn't have been. It should have been frantic, but it was frantic. And fair play to Gaurav. Gaurav predicted it that Liverpool would win. He got the prediction wrong, though. He got the fact that it's a 3-1. I would say it was the closest. I mean, Konate as well got it right as well. They both got it right. So, fair play to both of them actually for getting that right. It was kind of what we expected. City made a lot of changes to their starting 11. I mean, Steffen started. They had Nathan Aki in central defense, Zinchenko playing left back. So a lot of changes. I mean, there was no Bruyne. I think they missed him as well. And this game, they started Fernandinho instead of Rodri. I do think it was an experimental 11 as such. And sometimes when that happens, what that does do is then you've got to kind of take the fact that you're going to lose a game. You might lose a game because you're making so many changes. But it was clear that for Pep, I guess he's focusing on the league and the Champions League at the moment. Liverpool, of course, benefited from the fact that they didn't have to, that they could rest players against Benfica. I think that's something that has to be mentioned. And they might have an advantage as well going into the semi-finals because they're playing Villarreal. They might again be able to rest players in the semi-finals second leg as well. So they're certainly there for them. But in terms of the game itself, Liverpool. I mean, the City were masters of their own demise. I mean, Steffen making that error for the second goal. And that's. I mean, to be fair, I mean, some people might just say, well, that's City. You take the good with the bad, you take the rough with the smooth, and it's the way that they play. Everybody has to play the same way. And some players are better at it than others, and that's just probably what happens. Steffen, will feel that he might have cost them. He probably did cost them the tournament, but at the end of the day, you make those errors, and sometimes they come off, and sometimes they don't. But you can't pick which sometimes they won't come off. So you gotta kind of take it that way. But it was disappointing. It's disappointing, I'm sure, for Steffen as well. But I think the selection itself, I think, kind of told that that City were going to have a hard time winning this. That being said, I mean, you've got to look at the fact that Liverpool played really well. They played on the front foot. I think the approach was a bit different as well than they did in the league game, probably because they knew they were up against an inferior version of Manchester City, and that I think also makes a big difference, doesn't it, when you're playing against that sort of team. And congratulations to Liverpool. They go through. In terms of what this means, I mean, the only thing that I would say for Liverpool though is the fact that if they had won 4-0, 5-0, which they very well could have done, had they won that, I think that would have given a big boost going into the game against Manchester United. Then they've got, the Champions League semi-finals, going forward, that might have dented City's confidence. I think City will look at this and go, we lost 3-2 with our second team, with almost our second team, we lost 3-2. So Liverpool are not that much better than us. We're not that bad. And I think that might help City, especially the fact that they've got that rest period now, going into a few big games. I think they'll probably take that as a confidence boost. For Liverpool, if there is any sort of negative that to point out is the fact that they conceded 2 goals again against a team that is, they conceded 2 goals against Manchester City, but not against the best Manchester City. So again, those defensive problems are still there. And they're getting away with it at the moment, and maybe they will continue to get away with it for the rest of the season. Maybe, but if there is a problem that could be exploited in the coming games, that is it. The fact that they're defensively not as solid, and that might be something to think about for Liverpool. But other than that, I thought it was a good performance, and the attack again looked good for Liverpool. Mane got 2 goals, looked really good. I thought Jack Grealish taking his goal for City will also be a confidence boost for him as well. Someone who really needs that. Mahrez coming on and creating that goal for Bernardo Silva as well. I think that's something surprising that he didn't start. I think he should have started, but he didn't. I thought Sterling again had a bad game, but he seems to always have bad games against Liverpool. So that's something for him to work on going forward. I mean, I don't know what the future holds for him as well at this club, especially now with another striker likely to come. Then the opportunities might be even more limited. But at the end of the day, I thought Liverpool made it harder than it needed to be, especially in that second half. I think they could have done better to not let City into it, but they did. And that's something that they will have to take away from, and have to learn from, hopefully, for the future games. But I don't think it will have any impact on the title race as such. I think both teams will probably feel that there's enough positives for them to take. I thought a bigger Liverpool statement win might have put some doubts in the mind of City players, but I think this kind of result doesn't really impact City too much. going forward. So round 2 is done, and there might be round 3. We might be awaiting a Champions League final between these two teams. That might be something as well to look out for if that happens. And we'll watch out there. But anyway, for now, congratulations to Liverpool fans. You got a big final to look forward to. Could be a cup double on the offing. Might get another Liverpool Chelsea final, by the way. That might be something. Oh, maybe not. We'll know tomorrow. And for City fans, I mean, commiserations, but at the end of the day, I think Pep Guardiola made it clear that this is not the competition he's focusing on. He's focusing on the other two. So he'd rather do the European double than the cup than the treble. So that's something. Anyway, well, we'll see what happens, and we'll keep an eye on that. But again, remember, like, share, subscribe to the channel. We need the support, and want to keep doing more of these. So yeah, definitely, it's been a hectic day, but please just to help us by liking this channel, YouTube and Facebook, and share comments. Let us know what you think of the game, what you thought of the game, what you thought will be the impact for the rest of the season for these two clubs. What do you think is going to happen? Definitely would love to hear from you. Take care. Have a good day and or night, whatever time you're watching this, and we'll see you again very soon. Take care. Bye-bye.